Alright, it's the final episode of the day. The Bloodbath. As the tributes stand on the podiums, the horn sounds. William runs into the cornucopia and hides. Golden Freddy takes a sickle from inside the cornucopia. Gregory runs away from the cornucopia. Charlie breaks Mrs. Afton's nose for a basket of bread. Freddy snatches a bottle of alcohol and a rag. Dylan kills Jessica with her own weapon. Millie stays at the cornucopia for resources. Andrew runs away from the cornucopia. Cassie clutches a first aid kit and runs away. Elizabeth takes a spear from inside the cornucopia. Michael, Chica, and Fritz work together to get as many supplies as possible. Jeremy, Gabriel, and Foxy run away from the cornucopia. Oswald runs into the cornucopia and hides. Cassidy grabs a backpack, not realizing it is empty. Bonnie finds a bow, some arrows, and a quiver. Susie runs away from the cornucopia. Evan grabs a jar of fishing bait while Sarah gets fishing gear. Day 1 in the Hunger Games. William steals from Charlie while she isn't looking. Elizabeth explores the arena. Susie searches for a water source. Gabriel discovers a cave. Michael chases his brother. Bonnie stalks Chica. Mrs. Afton searches for firewood. Sarah scares Oswald off. Cassie practices her archery. Gregory receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Golden Freddy begs for Cassie to kill him. She refuses, keeping Golden Freddy alive. Freddy makes a slingshot. Foxy, Andrew, Jeremy, Millie, and Fritz hunt for other tributes. Dylan receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Fallen tribute. One cannon shot can be heard in the distance. Jessica from District 9. Night 1. Excuse me. Jeremy tries to sing himself to sleep. Cassidy stays awake all night. Bonnie cries himself to sleep. Susie quietly hums. Chica lets Andrew into her shelter. Mrs. Afton attempts to start a fire but is unsuccessful. Cassie defeats Foxy in a fight but spares his life. Golden Freddy receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Gregory and Oswald hold hands. Millie saves a fire but stays hidden. Elizabeth tends to Evan's wounds. Michael receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Charlie screams for help. Fritz bashes Freddy's head against a rock several times. Gabriel screams for help as well. Dylan defeats William in a fight but spares his life. Sarah tends to her wounds. Day 2 in the Hunger Games. Jessica bashes Jeremy's head in with a mace. Dylan defeats William in a fight again but spares his life. Charlie injures herself. Oswald, Cassidy, and Bonnie get into a fight. Oswald triumphantly kills them both. Gregory defeats Golden Freddy in a fight but spares his life. Andrew is pricked by thorns while picking berries. Susie kills Cassie with her own weapon. Sarah begs for Mrs. Afton to kill her. She refuses, keeping Sarah alive. Michael searches for firewood. Elizabeth begs for Gabriel to kill her. He refuses, keeping Elizabeth alive. Millie makes a slingshot. Fritz questions his sanity. Foxy thinks about home. Evan makes a slingshot. Fallen tributes. 5 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Freddy from District 1, Jeremy from District 5, Cassidy from District 3, Bonnie from District 1, and Cassie from District 12. One district is out of the picture. Night 2. Chica convinces William to snuggle with her. Golden Freddy climbs a tree to rest. Sarah tends to her wounds. Foxy starts a fire. Millie and Gregory talk about the tributes still alive. Gabriel receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Mrs. Afton stays awake all night. Dylan looks at the night sky. Andrew loses sight of where he is. Oswald questions his sanity. Charlie starts a fire. Michael receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. Fritz screams for help. Susie cries herself to sleep. Elizabeth lets her brother into her shelter. Day 3 in the Hunger Games. Sarah, Chica, and Evan hunt for other tributes. Millie questions her sanity. Susie attacks Dylan, but he manages to escape. Elizabeth's trap kills Fritz. Mrs. Afton, Charlie, Gabriel, and Gregory hunt for other tributes. Oswald injures himself. Michael and Foxy work together for the day. William runs away from Golden Freddy. Andrew searches for firewood. Fallen tribute, Fritz from District 1. Night 3. Evan, Sarah, and Susie discuss the games and what might happen in the morning. Golden Freddy, Oswald, William, Gregory, and Millie sleep in shifts. Michael defeats his sister in a fight but spares her life. Charlie tends to Chica's wounds. Mrs. Afton attempts to climb a tree but falls to her death. Dylan and Foxy hold hands. Gabriel loses sight of where he is. Andrew tries to sing himself to sleep. Day 4 in the Hunger Games. Gabriel goes hunting. Evan tries to sleep through the entire day. Michael, Elizabeth, Oswald, Susie, and Dylan hunt for other tributes. Andrew discovers a cave. Sarah explores the arena. William and Millie work together for the day. Charlie dies from hunger. Foxy, Golden Freddy, and Chica hunt for other tributes. Gregory goes hunting. Fallen tributes, 2 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Mrs. Afton from District 7 and Charlie from District 9. Night 4. Dylan pushes his girlfriend off of a cliff during a night fight. Chica receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Gregory tends to his wounds. Oswald and Foxy run into each other and decide to choose for the night. Elizabeth, Andrew, and Susie track down and kill William. Evan defeats his brother in a fight but spares his life. Gabriel receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Golden Freddy stays awake all night. Sarah starts a fire. Day 5 in the Hunger Games. Elizabeth receives fresh fruit from an unknown sponsor. Dylan receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Oswald practices his archery. Susie, Chica, and Evan get into a fight. Susie triumphantly kills them both. Gregory throws a knife into Gabriel's chest. Sarah, Andrew, Michael, and Golden Freddy hunt for other tributes. Foxy tries to spear fish with a trident. Fallen tributes, 5 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Millie from District 11, William from District 7, Chica from District 2, Evan from District 8, and Gabriel from District 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 are out of the picture. Night 5. Sarah stays awake all night. Andrew and Foxy run into each other and decide to choose for the night. Dylan and Michael tell stories about themselves to each other. Susie and Oswald talk about the tributes still alive. Golden Freddy receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Elizabeth kills Gregory for his supplies. The feast! The cornucopia is replenished with food, supplies, weapons, and memoirs from the tributes' families. Susie shoots an arrow at Golden Freddy but misses and kills Andrew instead. Foxy, Sarah, Michael, and Oswald track down and kill Elizabeth. Dylan decides not to go to the feast. Day 6 in the Hunger Games. Sarah camouflages herself in the bushes. Dylan dies from hypothermia. Oswald tries to spear fish with a trident. Susie, Foxy, and Michael start fighting, but Foxy runs away as Susie kills Michael. Golden Freddy injures himself. Fallen tributes. 5 more cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Gregory from District 12, Andrew from District 8, Elizabeth from District 6, Dylan from District 11, and Michael from District 6 as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 are out. Night 6. Foxy screams for help. Oswald, Sarah, and Susie track down and kill Golden Freddy. Day 7 in the Hunger Games. Sarah and Susie work together for the day. Oswald sprains his ankle while running away from Foxy. Fallen tribute, Golden Freddy from District 3. Night 7. Oswald lets Susie into his shelter. Sarah poisons Foxy's drink. He drinks it and dies. Day 8. In the Hunger Games. Oswald chases Susie. Sarah receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. Following tribute, one more cannon shot can be heard in the distance. Foxy from District 2. Night 8. Susie convinces Oswald to snuggle with her. Sarah tends to her wounds. Day 9. In the Hunger Games. Susie explores the arena. Sarah practices her archery. Oswald is pricked by thorns while picking berries. No one has died yet. Night 9. Oswald convinces Susie to snuggle with him. Sarah tries to sing herself to sleep. Day 10. In the Hunger Games. Sarah practices her archery. Susie begs for Oswald to kill her. He refuses, keeping Susie alive. No one has died yet, also. This is going on for so long. Night 10. Susie passes out from exhaustion. Oswald and Sarah tell stories about themselves to each other. Day 11. In the Hunger Games. Oswald stabs Susie with a tree branch. Sarah accidentally detonates a landmine while trying to arm it. Fallen tributes. 2 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Susie from District 4 and Sarah from District 10. That leaves Oswald from District 10 as the winner of this season. Oswald first, Sarah second, Susie third, Foxy fourth, and Golden Freddy in fifth. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed this season. I'm actually going to give the characters a few weeks of a break, hopefully to have them train for the third and final season.